Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in, and welcome back to the Power Rankings. And this is Week 15 Power Rankings. It is still crazy to say that the season is nearing conclusion, but we are at the point now of we know what teams are. We know what they are. Still some playoff positions to be fighting for, still some division titles and all that. We're going to the latter stretch of the season, and it's time to rank each of the teams heading into Week 15. But before I give my rankings, make sure you guys leave this video a like as it continues to help this channel to grow and it beats the YouTube algorithm. And if you are not subbed, go ahead and click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos that I post. But let's get into these power rankings. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Okay, the first team we're going to rank is the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray just went down with a torn ACL, which is bad for them, this team. I've always said it, didn't believe in them too much. Kyler Murray was inconsistent. Now with Kyler Murray out for the rest of the year, this team is not going anywhere. The Atlanta Falcons coming off of a bye week. They still find themselves alive in the playoff race. I'm going to put the Atlanta Falcons at a C for now, but still things to change. Next, the Baltimore Ravens. I have them at the A tier. Got a big victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers that they really needed to stay themselves ahead, 9-4 in that division. So I'm going to put them at the A tier for now. The defense is still good. We're going to see what the Lamar Jackson injury is going to look like going down the stretch. Still an A. Buffalo Bills, I still have them at the S tier. I still believe they're one of the more complete teams in football, even though Von Miller's injury does hurt them because of the reason they got him was to go down the stretch and have that key pass rusher. They don't have that. Their offense is still clicking, so S tier for me. Carolina Panthers, coming off of a big surprise win. I'm going to move them up to a C. They looked a lot better with Sam Darnold at the quarterback position than they did with Baker Mayfield or P.J. Walker. So I'm going to put them at a C. Next is my Chicago Bears coming off of a bye week. The injuries killed this team, and the lack of talent has really killed this football team. So I'm going to put my Chicago Bears at a D. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to have them in the A tier. This team has been hot. This team has been rolling. Joe Burrow has put himself into that conversation for the MVP race. They are finally getting their running game going. Even with some of the receivers that they had banged up, Higgins has been banged up, Boyd has been banged up, Chase has missed time. They are still clicking. Chase has been back. But this team is still clicking, and defensively, they have been playing some really solid football. Cleveland, I'm going to put them at a C. Deshaun Watson back. Offense is still defense still I just thought this team would have been a lot better, especially on defense, so I'm going to put them at a C. Dallas Cowboys, despite a really close game, I'm going to put them at an S tier. Really close game in Houston. The S tier is still where I believe the Dallas Cowboys are right now. Broncos, this team is a very big disappointment. I think the biggest disappointment of the 2022 season is the Denver Broncos. Offensively, defensively, it's been keeping them in games, but man, that offense has just been so bad, and we expected it to be so much better. This might sound crazy. I'm going to put the Lions at a B. The Lions are a very hot football team, winning 4 of their last 5 games, pulling off a big upset against the Minnesota Vikings at home. The defense is starting to come around. Offensively, they are explosive and they can score some points. Running the football with Williams and Swift. Goff has been playing solid. So I'm going to put the Lions at a B, as crazy as it sounds. Putting them at a B. Green Bay, I'm going to put Green Bay at a B as well. I think they're starting to find a little bit of their offense clicking, even though they had a bye week last week. I'm going to put them at a B for now. Texans, D. Colts, D. Man, both of them, bad. I mean, the Texans are the worst team in football, the least talented team in football. The Colts, they are just a complete mess at this point. The Jaguars, I'm going to move the Jaguars up to a C. I can't put them on the same level as the Texans and the Colts. I think the Jaguars are better than both of those teams. And the Jaguars, even though they're probably eliminated from playoff contention, I still believe that this team has a very good future, and Trevor Lawrence is starting to come into his own. Kansas City, I'm going to put them S tier. I'm still not a big, I don't know why, but I just don't believe that wholeheartedly on this defense. I just don't. They create turnovers. That offense is just still explosive, even without Tyreek Hill. Patrick Mahomes, I think, is 1-2 punch with another MVP candidate, which I will talk about a little bit later. But, man, that offense is explosive. Something about that defense I don't believe in. The Chargers, I'm going to move the Chargers to a B tier. A big, much-needed win against the Miami Dolphins on Sunday night. Justin Herbert has been playing some really good football. I almost said Trevor Lawrence. Justin Herbert been playing some good football. Having Mike Williams back is big. Austin Eckler has been big. Defensively, they're still been walled a little bit by injuries, but they stepped it up big time against the Miami Dolphins offense that can be a very explosive offense to score points. Rams, C. It was tempted to put them in a D. If they would have lost the game to the Raiders, I'd have put them in a D. And there's a surprise in that Baker Mayfield led that comeback, even though I still don't believe why they signed him. But I'm going to put him at a C. Next is the Raiders. I'm also going to put the Raiders at a C. They just have a tendency to just blow leads. Kind of like the Ravens did at some point during the season. Raiders just cannot hold leads at all. The Dolphins, I'm going to put the Dolphins at an A. I still believe they are one of the better teams of football. Defensively, it's been kind of so-so the last few weeks. Offensively, they can score points and be very explosive, but I just think the defense hasn't been as good the last couple of weeks. Next, the Minnesota Vikings. I'm dropping them to an A. For the life of me, I just don't know how they lose that game to the Lions, even though the Lions have been rolling hot. They are too explosive to let a team like the Lions outscore them. Defensively, I think they're starting to slip a little bit. Maybe that's just me, but offensively, they can score points with the best of them. It's just something about their defense has slipped a little bit. The New England Patriots, I'm putting them at a B. I still believe they are one of the more average teams in football. They are starting to play their way a little bit out of it, even though they won against the Cardinals without Kyler Murray, and that game was a little bit too close for call without Kyler Murray, especially getting Kyler Murray hurt early on in that ball game. It was a little bit at points too close to call. The New Orleans Saints coming off a bye, I'm putting them at a C. Their defense has been banged up offensively. They just cannot seem to find the rhythm necessary to hold on to win football games. So I'm going to put them in a C. The Giants, I'm putting them at a B. That past week's game against the Eagles, I think, was a big test, and they blew it tremendously. They absolutely failed that test against the Eagles. Next is the New York Jets. I'm dropping them to a B. This team, I think, offensively has just not been great. Even though the quarterback play from Mike White has been better than what they've been getting from Zach Wilson. Defensively, they're still one of the better units in football, and that showed against the Buffalo Bills. They kept the game competitively close. It's just offensively, they just couldn't do enough to pull out an upset. Eagles, the most complete team of football, period. Jalen Hurts is the other MVP candidate that I was referring to earlier, and I think he's at the point of now the front runner. I think he's the front runner for MVP. That Eagles team, defensively, they can do so many things with the front four. They have a very good secondary led by Slade. That is, I believe, the most complete team in football. Steelers, as much as defensively, they've been a good football team. Offensively, they can't just do anything. Offensively, it's been the struggle, whether it's been Pickett, whether it's been Trubisky. Trubisky looked bad when he got back in the game, and Pickett, we don't know what he's going to look like with the concussion. Offensively, they just haven't been able to find any bit of rhythm at all. Seattle, I'm going to put Seattle at a B for now. They're still a 7-6 football team. They still find themselves alive in the playoff race. That defense, you can just run the football all over them. Offensively, it's going to see what the injuries to Dallas and the injuries to Kenneth Walker are going to look like going forward. But I think this team really needs their running game. So I'm going to put them at a B for now. And if they don't have the running backs healthy, I think they'll drop. 49ers, this sounds crazy. I'm putting the 49ers in S. That defense is absolutely special. And no matter the quarterback play, whether it was Ben Jimmy G and now Brock Purdy, they've been explosive. We're going to see what the Deebo Samuel injury is going to linger for the next couple of weeks or so. But this team defensively and what they can do with the weapons that they have, this team is very explosive. And Brock Purdy, ooh, he's been looking solid. It's been looking solid. So I'm putting the 49ers in S. The Buccaneers, I'm going to drop them to a C. They were starting to come along a little bit, but the 49ers demolished them. The 49ers absolutely demolished this football team. This offense can't run the football still. And it just doesn't look like they can get any rhythm offensively. And defensively, they just had too many injuries. Tennessee Titans, I'm putting them in at a B, mainly because they're the leading team in that AFC South bad division. But they are not a very good football team, in my opinion, either. It's just this. I think they're winning their division by default because it's so bad. So Tennessee has not been playing great. Derrick Henry can get off, but it's just something about this team. I think it's on the defensive side of the ball is missing. Washington, bye week. I'm going to leave Washington at a B. The Washington Commanders, I always said Taylor Heineke is the guy for the quarterback position. They've been on a little bit of a roll. Defensively, they've been playing a lot better. Offensively, the running game is starting to come to fruition. So I'm going to leave them at a B. But hey, these are my rankings for the week. Make sure you guys leave this video a like, as it always helps this channel to grow and it beats the algorithm. Comment you guys' thoughts down below of what you think of my rankings. And as always, if you are not sub, click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the content. But I'm APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great next day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.